Angular overview. So what is Angular? Angular is a front-end framework. It's not a library, it is a framework. Okay. By using Angular, we can able to create single page application. Single page application, basically the page will not reload every time. Only the data get changed. So Angular is basically consists of components. Example, header is a separate component, footer is a separate component, navigation is a separate component. Whenever data changes in the footer or header or navigation, the whole page will not reload. Only that specific component will get reload. So Angular consists of number of components. Why we use Angular? We use Angular because it has TypeScript. We can write the code using TypeScript. So TypeScript, if you write the code, it is cleaner and easy for maintenance, unlike JavaScript. In JavaScript, we don't have type. Like we can put var, but var type out in, I can store integer, I can store string as well. But in TypeScript, we can define it, what type it is. And Angular is a component based, and I can reuse the component many times. And Angular is a framework, so it has some built-in library available inside the Angular. Like routing, if you want to use routing, Angular provides routing library, forms library, services, HTTP. Unlike React, in React we have to use third-party libraries. Okay, so Angular is a good for medium to large project. Even we can use in enterprise application. So in every Angular project, we have these things like components, modules, template, services, routing. So we'll be seeing this one by one. What is component? So component is a piece of view in the web page. Let's say I have a header as a component, footer as a component. Okay, right? As a piece of view. Okay. Every component has a selector. Simple, if I am saying is, in HTML you have h1, h2, h3. Okay, those are built-in HTML elements. Using Angular or React, you are going to create your own element like. Okay, so that is the thing is here. So by using this component, you can able to create your own element. If you wanted to call, you can call using app hello. I have made a component, hello component. So this is the app hello. This app hello will display in the front end as hello from Angular. So basically component is a piece of view in the front page. Every component has a TypeScript file to write the logic. Next we have data binding. Data binding is basically how can I connect with my model and the HTML file. Okay, connecting. So we have interpolation is here. Suppose I have data in my TypeScript file, I want to show in the HTML. So I can use this double curly braces. So string interpolation. Property binding. The value can come from the TypeScript file. Event binding. If I click in the HTML, the event should be, some method should be called. And two-way data binding. Two-way data binding is both property binding and event binding together it will come. So that symbol of this square and this bracket together it will come. It is missed here. Okay, event binding and two-way data binding. This data binding we will be seeing. Next, directives are there. Directives tells that how my element should be visible to the user. So I can do conditional rendering based on. Suppose if user is logged in, then I should show this element. If not, I should not show. So ngIf, ngFor also. ngFor is I can iterate some elements. So accordingly I can show the elements. ngStyle. These are some directives. Services. Example, I should not write all the logic inside the component. Okay, right. Suppose there are multiple components. In some case, I will write same logic in multiple components. To avoid that, I can write as a separate service and I can reuse those logic in my components. If you have any common code, I can write in the service and my components can call those things. I can inject into my components. So we use services for that. In my next tutorial, I'll show all these things practically. Routing. In single page application, we need to do routing, right? If you are going for different components, like I have home page, I have about us page. So I can configure the routes to my components so I can able to navigate it. I have to use router outlet to work for routing. Forms. And one of the important thing is, whenever you make forms in single page application, we have to validate that form. That validation I can do using template driven form or reactive form also. In template driven form, the validation logic I will write in the HTML file. In reactive form, I will write the validation logic in the TypeScript file. Okay. And this is one of the important one, HTTP library. Suppose my Angular application display shows some data. The data can come from some backend server. So if I wanted to, I need to call some HTTP calls, means then Angular has this library. RxJS library is there. So we have to use this HTTP.get method. So these are all the methods available in Angular only. We can able to call external APIs. And while displaying data, Angular has a concept called pipes. In the front end, when you're showing date, I want to format date. While showing the price, I wanted to put the currency symbol. Or I am showing some name text, I wanted to make them uppercase or lowercase. So I can just, it's like a print statement. While printing, you are formatting some data. That is Angular pipes. By using Angular, we can able to create our custom pipes as well. This is a custom pipes where we can able to, while printing something, I can add a greet message by default. And one of the important thing is lifecycle hooks of Angular. Okay, right? So in Angular, everything is component, right? The component dynamically load and it will unload it, right? So if you wanted to call some methods at that time instance, so we have something called ngOnInit, ngOnDestroy, constructor. So these things separately we are going to see. Just I'm saying an overview. Then Angular is, why Angular has become more popular? Angular has CLIs. If you wanted to create any component, if you want to create any services, so it has ngServe to start the server, to create the application ng app name, to create the component, to create the services, it has CLI commands are there. Now where Angular is used? It is used to make enterprise application like e-commerce application, banking application, dashboards, any admin panels, it will be used. In my further tutorial, I'm going to make a complete application. Quickly recap what we have seen now. So Angular is a TypeScript based web framework. In Angular, everything is created using components. Every component has its own HTML file and TypeScript file. So data binding means what? Connecting your UI and TypeScript file. Okay, UI is HTML file. TS is a TypeScript file. Directives is nothing but behaviors. How my component should show. Only if this condition passes. Services, we can write reusable logic. I can define one service logic, multiple components can call those services. Routing is, I can go from different pages, different components I can go by using routings. Pipe is just for formatting the data. And HTTP client, it is used to fetch some external libraries data. Then Angular has what? CLI development. So that's it. Thank you.